Hey class, welcome back to 10th grade science book club. We are going to look at cell scientists, how cell theory works today, and we are going to look at some comprehension strategies to help us summarize some main points in the text. Alright, so the comprehension strategy that we are going to learn to use today is called the dialogue comic strip. It's going to be fun. I chose this strategy because it really helps you summarize some main points, but it lets you do it in an exciting way. All right, so what is it? This strategy is used obviously to help us with comprehension since that's what we're working on today. It can be used to summarize main points and infer important conversations. This strategy can also be used to make inferences and help visualize a relationship between key ideas in a text. So, Ms. Thomas, how do I use this strategy? What are the steps? Well, let's take a look. Step 1, we need to read the text. Duh. Step 2, gather 3 main ideas from this text. When you're looking for these 3 main ideas, think about what the ideas are about, find evidence and supporting details that show you that they're the main ideas, and then write these down somewhere you can access them, because we will use these to create the dialogue. Once you've found the 3 main points, you're going to create or find 2 characters. In this, we will just find 2 characters for each main idea. So you'll need 2 characters for the first main idea, 2 for the second, and 2 for the third. These characters need to have some sort of relationship with these main ideas. So we can't just use Billy Bob Joe if he has nothing to do with making corn, for example. Then let's put these names in parentheses on the dialogue strip, which I will show you in just a moment when we're done with the steps. Next, we are going to create the actual dialogue. The dialogue is going to be used for the characters. They are going to be discussing the 3 main ideas. You can get as creative as you want with this. I will show you some examples, but this is all free reign as long as you are summarizing the 3 main points that are in the passage. Then underneath the dialogue, I would like you to explain why the conversations that you developed are important and how they relate to the main idea of the text. So let's take a look at our text, Cell Scientists Discovering How Cells Work. The passage that I'm going to use my comic strip example from is page 12. Fast forward almost 200 years. 3 scientists were working on cells at about the same time. Their names were Matthias Schladen, Theodor Schwann, and Rudolf Virchow. All very Russian names, if you can tell. Together, their work became known as cell theory. Schladen worked with plant cells. Schwann worked with animal cells. One night, they had dinner together. They talked about their work. They realized that the cells they both studied were very similar. Plants and animals were both made of cells. They went to the laboratory and looked at cells. Then they published their findings in 1839. They said 2 important things. First, all living things are made of cells. Second, cells are the smallest part of a living thing that is itself alive. The one thing that they weren't sure of was where cells came from. Almost 20 years later, Rudolf Virchow solved the puzzle. Cells, he said, come from other cells. This became the 3rd part of cell theory. The 3 main points that I chose from this passage, Schladen and Schwann found that all living things are made of cells. They also found that cells are the smallest part of living things that are alive, and Virchow found that all cells come from other cells. So using these main points, I developed my comic strip. So first we have Schladen. Did you know plants are made up of cells? OMG, so are animals, so all living things must be, said Schwann. I wonder how small these cells are. Can we see them? Said Schwann. Schladen replied, actually, cells are the smallest piece of a living thing. Siobhan stated, I wish we knew where cells came from. Hi, by the way, cells come from other cells and are made up of cells, said Verco. So using my main points, I just created my own dialogue, and then at the bottom I stated why I used the dialogue that I did use, because in each different comic strip, it shows and explains the main idea, which is now that you've seen an example, it's your turn. Using our text, you can choose whatever passage you'd like to choose. Create your own comic strip. Just follow the rules that I have given you. Use my example as a guide. Then post them in the discussion board and reply to a classmate's. See y'all next week.